Hello, welcome to my channel. This is your brother Ike Frimpong, the teacher, and you're on KOK Ministries, Kingdom of Knowledge Ministries, and I'm very happy to be here with you again. And today on Singles and Searching, we'll be discussing certain rules and principles, certain rules and principles. Usually what happens is that as we are single and searching, we have set or have guiding rules guiding us in who is a perfect gentleman or who is a perfect lady to suit us as partners. This concept I disagree perfectly with, because when you're single and searching, you need to have a wider market. Relationships, marriages, courtship, and dating is a very complex environment. And the more you set rules and the more you set certain principles, especially non biblical principles, it makes your chances slim and your ability to finding a potential partner difficult. Individuals are different. So a rule that you see another break, someone could just change by telling him or her that you are not interested or you don't want him or her to behave in that manner. And he will change, he or she will change for the good. Therefore, it is difficult to set a golden rule or guidelines for yourself that will affect the relationship you are about to enter into. Sometimes our past experiences is part of the reason why we set this route. Sometimes teachers or some counselors will give you some guidelines to identifying a potential partner or identifying a perfect partner. There is nothing perfect on this earth, and we all agree that no one is perfect, and therefore the golden rules to meeting a befitting partner is not true. Don't buy any book titled The Golden Rules or the Principles Behind a Perfect Gentleman or a Perfect Lady or someone who will be suitable for a wife and someone who will not be suitable for a wife. We were created uniquely and differently. And what might work for you may not work for me. The one you call perfect may not be perfect for me. So if I come and sit here and outline a guideline and say that these are signs or this should show you that someone is good or bad, then I may be misleading you. We all have our own uniqueness. The problem with certain rules, principles, and guidelines in our search is that it will limit us, it will narrow the gap, it will close our niche to the extent that we may have a slim chance of meeting someone who is befitting to be a partner. Some rules may be that I will not date someone who drinks. I will not date someone who smokes. I will not date someone who is dark. I will not date a gentleman who don't know how to speak. I will not date someone who doesn't have a class. I will not date someone who doesn't have a university degree. Sometimes these rules we set for us worry us much in the marriage, especially. At the courtship and dating stages, because we share these informations, our partners may pretend and may live a certain kind of life to suit us or to make us happy. Everybody or every individual in a relationship assesses his or her partner and knows how his or her partner wants him or her to present herself or himself. When this continues, the man or the woman will be living a fake life just to please you so that both of you could end up in marriage. Then in the marriage, he or she will decide that enough is enough, and now she would like to have freedom, or he would like to have freedom and live as he pleases. When that happens, there is problem. You never wanted to marry a man who drinks. Now your husband comes home and is drunk. Could be as a result of so many thousand reasons. But because of that principle or that caveat you set, the two of you may begin to have problems. Not because one has wronged the other, just because one is developing a habit that is against the other's principle. Instead of us to handle the issue, get to the root of the matter, try to find out how best we can help our partners go back to as they were, we rather get annoyed and get overboard on the issue of him coming home drunk than addressing the issue. Why are you changing your character? Why are you changing your attitude? Where from this drink? Why are you putting on an habit that it is breaking my heart? The marriage life need a lot of conversations to go on, a lot of discussions to go on, a lot of emotions expressed not in mind but by words. We need to tell our partners what we feel about what is going on. We need not to draw assumptions, as I said last week, on accusations. We need not to draw assumptions. We need not to sit back and conclude that because he's doing this, because she has started doing this, because he's behaving this way, it means A, B, C, D. We need to voice it out. Sometimes we expect our partners to do something. In our head, we know what we want them to do, but to them, we have not voiced it out, and they do not know what they are supposed to do. Therefore, they do things thinking that they are doing it to please us, but on the other way around, we expect something else than what they are doing. Rules and principles and guidelines may ruin a relationship, may ruin a potential beautiful relationship, may lead others to live fake life. I'm not saying don't have rules, don't have guidelines, don't have principles. No, I'm saying have them at heart. Have them at heart. Having them at heart means that you know your guidelines and principles, but you give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't have a guideline or a principle or a rule that you will stuck to at all costs if even people will die. I've witnessed a woman whose husband came home drunk, unbelievably, and he was led home by the youth or the teenagers in the area, and they were laughing at him and they brought him home. The woman felt so disgraced that he neglected the man. By the next morning, the man was dead out of hunger. He had died. The the woman couldn't hold her tears. Why did she not attend to the husband when he came home in that state? She did not attend to the husband because of her rules, because of her guidelines, because of her principles, and because she has told the man not to come home in that manner again. My brothers and sisters, when we stuck to our roots, when we stuck to our guidelines, when we stuck to the principle, no matter what, we may cause harm. We may cause harm. We may innocently cause harm. It is true that we are single and we are searching. It is true that based on the past, based on lectures like this, based on advice from other sisters and third parties, we have reconditioned our mind and our thoughts in a certain direction. And because of that, there are certain things we may not settle for. That is true. But these things that we have heard, these things that we have not tested ourselves, but have learned from others, and those that even we have experienced in the past, should be kept deep in our heart and mind. We keep it in our heart and mind because when it is there, we know what we are searching for. But we will not stuck to it till death, that if you don't meet this criteria, forget it. It will never happen between us. What we must do rather is have that at the back of our mind and amend it if that is the only, or that two things are the only things that seems to make the relationship not to be a viable one or a promising one for the future. We must keep the guideline, the rules, the regulations in the back of our minds, so that by the time we conclude on our decision whether to go into this date, whether to get married, whether to accept him or her, we will know which of the rules and guidelines he or she is preaching. And on another day, I'll teach you about those things that those signs that when you see cannot be changed in the marriage, or it's difficult to change. There are certain things that may be problem now, but they are not problem. They are things that if both of you agree, you can easily amend it. There are other things too. When it is a problem, it will be a problem till death, and there is no way you can change it. And that you must then assess yourself and ask yourself whether you can live with this or you can't before you step into the marriage. These are things that we are discussing for each other's benefit. I want to treat you to share a story with me if you have a story like that. I have to treat you to let us know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, be part of the KOK Ministry family. My brothers and sisters, today we are discussing certain rules, guidelines, and principles that we will die by as we are stepping out there to search as singles. If those things are so dear to our hearts, it will make it difficult to either say yes or no to a proposal. Because as soon as you identify, say this place is a no-go area. But I've seen people, I've seen marriages that everybody had concluded that this marriage may not last 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, but the marriage has lived on. I have seen pastors Men of God, great men of God, tell couples that this man, this type of man, this guy, as I know, can never be a good husband. But they have lived on beautifully and the family look wonderful. Perceptions, ideas, the past, what we know about people, people can change. Maybe there may be an ex-girl somewhere watching me and he can't believe that this is the Hima I know. Yes. People change. People put up new behavior. People grow. People mature. And therefore, what you know about their past, what people are telling you about him or her, may not be his reality. Some people will change because of love. Love can hit them so greatly that they will become wonderful people. I entreat you that as you step out there, have an open mind, as I said at the beginning. Be open minded and keep your rules, your principles, and your guidelines to heart. Don't write people off as soon as they begin to breach them, but rather accommodate them, give them the chance, let them know what you want them to change. Share what I might be doing may not be wrong to me, but may not be acceptable to you. So if it is not acceptable to you, let me know. Don't just conclude. Let me know. Maybe I can change. Relationships are beautiful. Marriage is wonderful. But as we step out there as singles and searching, we need to be open-minded. I have seen a lot of singles with 1,001 rules. I want a tall guy. He must have hairy dang. He must be wonderful. He must speak fluently. He must be like that. He must have a class of his own. He must be good looking. These are all like it's not. These are not tasteful. You are not telling me what you want to in a man. You are actually telling me your guidelines and rules. You are telling me the parameters you have set. You are telling me your rule that the man must meet. These things may hinder your ability to meet a potential beautiful partner that will love you to the end of the world. That will affect your ability to meet a potential partner that will be wonderful and that will help you achieve your dreams and help you, the two of you, stay in marriage till death do you part. And brothers and sisters, you will not know who you will marry, who perfectly suits you until you are in front of the altar. Therefore, as we step out there, we should keep the rules, the principles, those things we have picked from the environment, those things we have learned through the marriage of our mothers and family, aunties and uncles, those guardians we stayed with, those things we realized that were red marks and signs. Let's keep them at heart. And when we meet people exhibiting those same things, we should give them the benefit of the doubt. We should alert them and see if they could change. We should give them the room if they will change. As I said, you can meet a man who drinks every day. You can meet a man who drinks occasionally. You can meet a man who drinks every 3 years. You can meet a man who drinks when he's only about to sleep. You can meet a man who drinks when it's only about to eat and he calls it appetizer. But if your golden rule is that you marry any man that drinks, then what happens? All these 10 categories of junk cards or people who drink will not qualify into your niche, but they may be perfect and wonderful, loving husbands and wives. My brothers and sisters, as we step out there, let's go with an open mind, resilience, fighting for what is right. And it is my hope that you meet that potential, beautiful, handsome lady or gentleman. Come share your stories with us, add your comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with others, and invite more people to the family. As we do this, encourage us and let us know whether this program we should carry on. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting us. Ciao.